Good morning. It's Lions Talk with Smokin, Jeremy B, and Von Doom. Lion King comes in. Yo, Smoke, looking for tires? Let me know when you're at work. I go in at 2 p.m. today, so pop on in. Dwayne Keene's got a good morning all, and let's go Detroit Lions, one pride, Kings of the North Division title. You think we're going to stay at 29, trade to go up or down? Well, there's some news that just broke today, and now I'm going to get into that shortly. They're going to surprise us for this draft. Can't wait to see what happens. Paul Jones saying, good morning, fellas. We got 6 in the chat. A couple more, and I'll throw the intro up, and then we'll get into the news. Dan Leonard saying, go Bears. And take the Vikings with you. There.
Both of them are just a quarterback away now, buddy.
That may be. We got 1 like so far and 8 people watching. You know, those reactions help us all. No matter whose podcast, what platform you're on, the more likes we get, the more recognition we get. There it is again. You watched it on your other thing?
No.
Every now and then it's just coming through the mic. I can actually hear it coming back to me.
No goddamn sense. Well, I guess we'll have to redo the whole podcast setup one of these days.
Nah. Music's going off and we're going live.
Charles here locally in the community. Make sure y'all go check out New Cat Body by Jeremy King.
Ricky Cicada in the chat. Good afternoon, man. He must be feeling better. That's great. Send him a picture of that shirt that I got. I bought a t-shirt trying to save some money. And due to Chinese sizing, it gave me micro sleeves and it's tight in the shoulders. So it's going to end up my nephew's.
Yeah, only buy your underwear from there. It'll make you feel better about yourself.
Actually, their underwear fits perfect. You must be buying the girls' underwear again, huh, Diane Leonard?
I don't bother wearing them. What are you talking about?
I don't most of the time either. I prefer commando and gray sweat.
Not when you gotta go to work.
No, not when I gotta work. You're absolutely right. But Terrion Arnold comes to Detroit today for a visit for a top 30 interview. And so while we all say they probably won't trade up, that opportunity might come up, and that might be one of the guys we aim for. I mean, he is considered a top corner in this draft. Would you be upset with it? And it really depends on what we give up. If we're giving up like our first 3-round picks this year and another one next year, I'm not going to like it as much than if we like do some future picks and then only 1 pick this year. Is what I'm saying.
I don't see that happening though. You're definitely gonna have to give up more capital this year, plus something next year. But for Terrion Arnold, I'd probably do it. If I had to give up the 1, the 2, the 3 this year and a 3rd next or 4th next, then yeah, screw it. I think he's that good.
It's either we're moving up for something like that or it's Quenya and Mitchell. But like I said, moving into the top 10 costs a lot. from 29.
Suppose.
Period.
You
No
can
matter how you
guys
look
can
at
go
it,
up to number 4.
you're either giving up a shit ton of future picks or you're giving a shit ton of this year picks to do it. I still say more than likely a trade back is more likely to happen than a trade up, but if it happens, it happens.
Hey, it's said you can move up with the Cardinals. All it's going to take is 3 firsts and something else.
Right. 3 firsts and probably a player. You already know what I said that I'd do.
3 firsts and Goff for Kyler in the 4th.
Yeah. And then you just bench Kyler.
Do you even have to bench Kyler though? Honestly, I don't think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah. I'd rather see Hooker than Kyler. He's tall enough to see over the O line.
Yeah, but you know what? Kyler wouldn't get sacked inside the pocket like Goff does.
Nor would Hooker. I do have a valid point.
It's not a wrong point. I still think Kyler's probably a better all-around quarterback than Hooker, though.
I haven't seen it. I've seen splashes. He'll do it for 1 or 2 games, and then he disappears for 2 to 4 games. Then he comes back for a game. Then he disappears the rest of the season. Why? Second half of the season, Modern Warfare is out. He quits trying.
Hey, man, it's hard to get ranked. You got to put your effort into that.
I understand, but you know what I'm saying.
He's thinking about life after football.
But we'd have to get Cardinals to try to eat some of that salary.
Yeah, because it's all guaranteed.
Absolutely. Otherwise, there's no trade. Detroit fan man, I think we actually met with Kool-Aid to learn about Terrion because when the report came out that he does not apply himself in practice and tries to get back on talent alone, that's not a Dan Campbell type of guy.
Who?
We heard the same thing about Jalen Carter.
Wait. Time out. Who do they say that about?
Kool-Aid.
Yeah, but see, that was also, they came out, his own teammates came out and said that was bullshit.
It was teammates that reported that.
Somebody being an asshole trying to give him the drop, probably.
Is what it is.
Do I think Terrion's better and has better work ethic? Absolutely. I think Kool-Aid's probably more talented than he is.
Right.
And you just got to get him motivated. That's all.
But either way, it is what it is. That's what I'm saying. And I think Terrion Arnold is better than Kool-Aid. I completely agree. Work ethic wise. Kool-Aid played for a Saban team that didn't want to participate in practice. That seems odd to me. Saban seemed pretty damn strict about the Alabama way. He is.
Yep.
Like he says, I'll be there today. I hope I get a Golf Hater tire discount today, Smoke.
Lion King. I've heard that if you show him some pictures of feet, he'll give you a discount too.
Mm-mm.
Got an
No
issue.
feet. No feet. That's gross, disgusting. I don't like looking at feet. Nice try. Von don't feel like doing shit today. But other than that, there isn't a lot of news out there. And what I have seen is a whole bunch of clickbait shit. That Ari Marioff, he isn't even a real reporter that reported that Goff's getting a $49+ million extension. And he posted it on April Fool's Day. That should tell everybody it was a bad post.
So not that he was losing control, Fred Peterson. It was that people don't have freaking that loyalty to a team anymore because they're like chasing that money. It doesn't matter to come to a team that has a proven history of putting people in the NFL where they're going to get paid. Now they can just stay in college and do whatever and get paid.
You're absolutely right, Detroit fan, man. And I'm not talking about a bad body of work. Don't get me wrong. His body of work on the field is amazing for Kool-Aid. He actually has some of the best stats against in this draft as a corner. Him, Quinyon Mitchell, Terrion Arnold, in that order. Then it's insert whatever player after him.
And he
And the
did it
only
all with
one
that fracture in his foot.
right. And the other one that you can't put in that thing that has good stats is Ennis Racketstraw.
That's your guy, though.
It's my guy to hate this draft. I see him having a Greedy Williams type of career. If he gets drafted to somebody, he'll be a dime corner before the end of the season. Watch. Or a bench player. But a dime corner is basically a bench player that sees the field, 15% of the time? Approximately.
Yeah.
But Saban was losing control after NIL. It's another reason he retired. That's unfortunately the way college is now. Well, it's unfortunate because NIL started paying money more than Alabama did for their pro teams they put on the field.
Can't prove that.
Can't be proven, but it's the truth. Once it got to where every team could pay their players, he couldn't have as good a team anymore. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
He's not saying it's true. He's not saying it's not. That's what he's going with.
Yep. Those are the rumors I like to throw out there. Is the shit I come up with off the top of my head. But like, oh, we're trading for Patrick Surtain. We're not even going to have a first round pick this year, or next year, or the year after that, is what one podcaster has said.
Well, that podcaster is an idiot. If you're giving up 3 picks for Surtain, you got a problem. When you can give up less than that to move up and grab one of these guys.
I understand.
Or stay at 29 and take Kool-Aid, whose pro comp is Patrick Surtain.
Exactly.
Granted, I love Patrick Surtain. I'd give up 2 firsts for him, yes. I wouldn't give up 3. You're out of your goddamn mind.
Ricky Scott, I think both Saban and Harbaugh left Harbaugh left because he delivered the promise he said he would do. He said he wasn't leaving Michigan until they had a national championship, and as soon as they did, he was out.
Because realistically, your end goal is to be a coach in the NFL where it matters the most. You want the big prize, not the freaking consolation prize.
There's a reason why he took interviews every year the last 4 years in the NFL. Money. Absolutely. There's way more money in the long run in the NFL because it takes all the incentives to make money above an NFL coach in college. It's why
Unless your name's Nick Saban.
So mad I missed yesterday. Oh, you heard about everything I broke, right? About the 7, it's a total of 7 players that visited for the local pro day? Is what we counted, wasn't it, Bondo?
No, I think it was more than that.
No, it was 7 from Michigan. From University of Michigan. All of them were from Michigan, but I mean 7 from actual players from U of M visited for the Detroit Lions pro day, local pro day. That doesn't count against the top 30 visits. There was 23 players in all. And your boy was in there, Sandristel. So was Roman Wilson. So was Michael Barrett. And tune in tonight. We got some news about an NFC North opponent gets to play the first team in a country outside the country tonight versus a team in Von Doom's division.
Derek Syndicate and another creator say Goff will make more than Patrick Mahomes. Yeah, okay, cool. Oh, bullshit. That's just straight bullshit. Like, that's stupid.
Yep, and Ricky Saccott tells the teams that they are. Green Bay versus Philly, boo. In Sao Paulo, Brazil.
And, like, if they were talking to Denver and there's only going to be a first, a second, and a few late-round swaps, whatever, I'm probably down with that. But if you're going to give up multiple firsts, what's the point? Because you got to think, you're going to have to re-sign him soon. He's going to make more than L'Jarius Sneed did.
Well, L'Jarius Sneed has the stats to back up what he said, but Surtain played when we had the dead Broncos that weren't getting a pass rush and was still putting up similar stats. And he's much younger, right?
Yep.
Like 2 years younger than Sneed. Isn't he just turning 26 this year and Sneed just turned 28?
Not 100% off the top of my head.
Pretty sure I'm right about Surtain is only 26, maybe even only 25. All I know is there has not been one iota of Goff extension talk other than Brad saying at the combine that they'd like to get something done, but they're far apart still. Tina Passarelli comes in and says, "Good morning, Jeremy, and all Detroit Lions fans." We appreciate you, Tina. Thank you for watching. This hat has been through the ringer. You can tell it's an old school hat. It's back when we first did the logo, back when Reebok was still doing the jerseys. I debated with the dude at work that said Detroit should have taken Sauce Gardner over Aiden Hutchinson. Hindsight's 2020, but our pass rush would be horrible without Hutch, so I don't know if I like that argument. I kind of agree with you. I said at the time, Sauce Gardner was an elite talent, but without a pass rush, which the New York Jets have a decent pass rush. They get tons of pressures, which is one of the reasons why Sauce had such a great rookie year. How good did he do last year when the pass rush wasn't that great?
Still didn't have a bad year.
He didn't have a bad year, but he finally gave up a couple touchdowns.
It's bound to happen in the pros, not college. But
Right.
you know what? This is a debate I've been having since this draft. Because I do think Sauce is the better player all around. Would have been there, but then they have to add the pass rush to help him. And
right. And there was no one in that draft that's had better stats than Hutch out of those overall. If you add both seasons together, don't lie.
You add both seasons together, they're still pretty damn close. And Thibs had an absolutely horrid rookie year.
Wait a minute. What is his total sacks for 2 years?
Let me double check.
Because I know what Hutch's is. Is it 15?
It's 15 and a half.
Hutch is at 21 and twice the pressures.
Pressure isn't a fucking real stat.
It's tracked.
It's bullshit.
It's tracked.
You know what pressure is? Hey, I almost fucked this chick last night, but then we did it. That's what pressure is.
It's getting to third base. Absolutely.
It's bullshit.
It is not bullshit. It's a real stat.
Bullshit. Bullshit.
Been a real stat for 10 years.
Bullshit. Bullshit. It's squeezing a titty. That's what pressure is.
I got into an argument on Instagram through a chat because they said the most underrated quarterbacks, and at number 2, he put Trevor Lawrence. And I was like, underrated? That guy's so overrated it isn't funny.
He is Daniel Jones with a better team around him with the same stats.
And that's exactly what I said. I said,
the better offensive line.
Wait,
better weapons.
He has a better offensive line. He has 1 less completion percentage. He has 1,000 less yards. He has 2 less touchdowns, and 4 more interceptions. I said, he's Daniel Jones on a good roster.
Yeah.
He goes, but he took us to the playoffs. I said, no, your defense took you to the playoffs. Go back and watch. He only had 3 great games the entire season that year.
Look at not this past year, but look at the year before that. Daniel Jones had a good season, took him to the playoffs with way less talent.
The same year that Trevor Lawrence went to the playoffs with the exact same record. That's what I'm getting at.
Dude, I have that argument all the time. Do I think Daniel Jones can succeed if he's on a decent team? Yes, I do. But not when you're getting sacked 86 times.
Henry Gray says, good morning, JBVD and Lions family. I'm just saying, I wouldn't get rid of Goff for Kyler myself. You know what I'm saying? I don't think Kyler is that good of a quarterback. I think he's a midget. I think he can't see over the O-line. He doesn't deliver a good deep ball over the middle because of it. It's why it's a summer deep ball.
Wait a minute here. Man, I think I figured this out. Von Doom heard AG preaching about importance of pressure one too many times. When has AG ever gave a fuck about pressure? He sits in fucking zone coverage and doesn't do a goddamn thing. Dan Campbell had to put his hands on there before you guys started blitzing. So I don't ever want to hear AG in pressure.
Oh, well, we had plenty of pressures. We weren't getting sacks with AG running it. And it also, you have to remember one key thing. Once Isaiah Buggs got sat for the season and wasn't used, the sacks from Hutch completely disappeared until Dan Campbell put his hands on that defense. So
There we go. How to make a post real quick.
oh, you're absolutely right about this. I kind of wanted AG to get a head coaching job and Campbell and Holmes to get Steve Wilkes. I think Wilkes was the fall guy for Scamahan. And yes, I call him Kyle Scamahan.
He 100% was.
Oh, yeah, because it was 100% the offensive play calling that lost that game. They did exactly what the Lions did in the NFC championship game. I remember AG cheering against Deuce on Hard Knocks. Pressure breaks pipes. Yeah, I remember.
You really want to know what he's talking about?
Did Wilkes land a job anywhere? That's a
Um,
good question. Want to check that for me, Von Doom?
Yep.
I think he did, if I remember right. It wasn't a head coaching job. He landed another coordinator job, if I remember right. Or he's still sitting there. And if he's still sitting there, I wouldn't mind him being the new assistant defensive coordinator.
I don't think so.
HH preseason vanilla opposition won't hurt his chances with non-starters. We really want to see just the type of throws he's making, how he handles pressure in the pocket. That's what you want to see from Hendon Hooker in the preseason. What type of throws is he making? Is he making NFL type throws like he did at Tennessee? Wilkes didn't land a job, did he?
No.
Assistant defensive coordinator sounds good for him, don't it?
No, I don't want to be the assistant defense coordinator. I want to leave everything just the way it is right now so they can see how shitty AG really is and you can get out of football.
Those Michigan kids interviewed really well yesterday. Well-coached group, especially my boy Sainristil. Yeah, I know. It's crazy how good they played all year on defense and nobody offered him a job. I know. It's because people think Kyle Shanahan is this fantastic coach and he does everything right. But he was throwing Salah under the bus the year they lost in the NFC Championship game and the year they lost in the Super Bowl. He threw, who was it? D'Amico Ryans under the bus that year. That's why he left for a head coaching job. And now he threw Steve Wilkes under the bus. There is a pattern here. Look at the Falcons when he was offensive coordinator under Dan Quinn and how poorly that offense did in the second half that allowed a 28-point deficit to be erased and lose the Super Bowl. He did the exact same thing that Super Bowl offensively as he did this Super Bowl offensively. You can put him over it. The play calling was exactly the same. Salah is a hell of a coach. I honestly wanted him over Dan Campbell. I think I'll continue to be an armchair GM because I was wrong. LOL. Salah is some people are a hell of a coach and some people are a hell of a coordinator. I'll say this till the day I die. We have seen it time and time again. When a coordinator that's doing a great job, his players love him and everything else. Then there's other coordinators where the players love them. They have mediocre results and they end up being better head coaches.
Rex Ryan, great defensive coordinator.
Mid
head coach.
Mid head coach at best.
Exactly.
Does Patricia still currently have a job? How does he keep landing on his feet? I don't think he got a job this year.
Maybe he's working for SpaceX.
Yeah, to be the next weather balloon because he's as big as one. Rex Ryan is more worried about feet than he is coaching. That's his fault. Lots of risers. At Iowa. Cooper's pro day at Iowa after a broken leg was major impressive. Now, you took one sentence out of that and he says, there's no way he's better than Antrell Roll. That's not what they said. He just had more bench reps than him. That's it.
I don't care. Antrell Roll was that dude.
They're not saying he's that dude. You missed the point. You went over stupidity.
I made my own narrative over that, and I don't care. I said what I said.
Nobody said he was
Antrell on that business all day.
Nobody said he was Antrell Roll. They just said he had one more bench rep than him. He had a great pro day. The problem is he's white and no white people can play DB. Bullshit. Bullshit. I'm tired of people playing a race card about anybody. Period. If they can play and they put up those type of numbers, they can play.
All they're trying to say is white people are slow. That's it. Not that they can't play football. They're a little slow.
But he's not slow. He was faster than 92% of the corners that tested.
I'm talking about white folk in general, not Cooper DeJean. He's half Mexican too, isn't he?
He didn't look it, but yeah, I think he is. I think he's mixed. Not since Seahorn. Cooper is a great kick returner too. Keep in mind the new kickoff rules. Absolutely.
Well, not even not
Four,
since
four,
Seymour.
340.
Moss was drafted last year, and he's a cornerback for the Denver Broncos.
Who was that?
Riley Moss.
Yeah.
I didn't say
Again,
he's
who?
good, but yeah.
Again, who? Cooper is definitely on our board. If he slips, he's a Lion, and I agree with that because of what he is. He is the one thing that Brad Holmes has checked the box on 18 or 19 of his draft picks. Versatile, had an injury, team captain.
Have they brought him in for a visit yet?
Ask white boy defensive back Gary Fensick for the 85 Bears. Yep.
Dude, that was
And
100 years ago.
if the Lions want Dijon, they better trade up big to get him. They don't have to trade up big. They just only got to move up 4 spots. Ask the Packers.
I heard the Packers want freaking Kool-Aid.
That's what I heard too. Because they don't want to. Because they're not going to want to continue with Jair if he keeps having mid-season.
Hey, you know what? He wasn't wrong. They were assholes for not making him a fucking captain in his own hometown.
If 5 of 6 QBs go, we'll have a shot. Absolutely. I think there might be 6 QBs gone by pick 20.
Unfortunately.
Somebody's going to fall. But I do have something for you, too.
Better not be a poopy pickle.
Nope. It's not a poopy pickle. What is it? No, not that one. There are 7 boomer bust prospects this draft, according to the 33rd team. Number 1 is somebody you guys all want at wide receiver. Keon Coleman, boomer bust prospect. Number 2, Bo Nix. Number 3, Amarius Mims. Number 4, Jaden Daniels. Number 5, Chop Robinson. Number 7, Laiatu Letu. And number 8, Dallas Turner.
Every fucking prospect is a boomer bust.
I know, but these are the ones that they say have the biggest risk of busting out of the ones that are there. Thank you, Tina. I like changing the lid up every now and then because I've got enough of them.
I really think that list is crap because Jaden Daniels, okay, the guy's going to be a star. There's no question about that. Here, I'll give you 2 boomer bust. J.J. McCarthy, Drake May. They're either going to make somebody look like a genius or they're going to get fucking GMs fired.
I really think Drake May is a lot better than some people think because he was the best under pressure of all the college quarterbacks last year.
I understand that. He
and
also
Von
has
Doom, why are people the JB and Von Doom? Why are people not talking about Chris Braswell?
Why are they not talking about him? Because he's not one of the big names that put up crazy stats this year. He didn't show out at the combine, look like a physical freak. He's going to be a solid day 2 pick for somebody.
Yep, and he'll be very good there. And at 61, if he's there, I wouldn't mind him in Detroit. But if I have the choice between him and, let's say, Marshawn Nealon or Braden Fiske, that's a real decision.
I would take him over both of them personally.
I think somebody's going to take Nealon over him.
Hang on here. Do you see Hutchinson getting that Josh Allen money? That, you know what? If he continues the way he does right now with his stats that he's putting up, he may get more money than that. But we're going to have to see how he plays in with the new rule change to see if he's able to adjust to it and not get fined and not get flagged. If he can still put up 10 to 11 sacks a year and not get flags, absolutely 100% he's going to make that money.
Yep. And the same with Josh Allen, because a lot of his sacks are the same way. But he got paid already because he's already at the end of that first round contract. There's a big difference here. The rule changes may negate a lot of sacks, people.
And give it 2 and 3 years, and that contract's going to look like a steal.
Right. Because, like I said, and I tried to explain to somebody else, oh, it went up a record amount this year. That's because the other 3 streaming services dumped a lot of money to get NFL films or NFL games on their streaming services.
Well, you heard what they're doing this year with the playoff game, right? They're going to auction off a playoff game to the highest bidder.
Right. For the streaming services. But
Yep.
at the same time, the base amount is supposed to go up the lowest of all of them, is what they're saying. So if the base amount goes up the lowest and it's just a bid for the wild card game to be able to be streamed on one service, when it's whoever has direct TV already has it, which is YouTube, or a Sunday Ticket. Yep, there is a game being played in Brazil. It's gonna be Green Bay as the visiting team versus the Philadelphia Eagles.
Okay. Paul Jones over here. I don't agree with Bo Nix on that list. I'm with Von Doom. JJ and Drake have more expectations. They do. Bo Nix, what everybody wants to overlook is 5 years in college, 5 different offensive coordinators, got better every single year with the new offense. He can digest a playbook. The only knock on him, besides the fact that he's 50 years old, is he doesn't have the cannon of an arm. But he uses proper arc on his balls to make his long balls still get there. It's just not with zip.
Grandizer asks of the experts who do Lions mock draft, do you mock their draft or mock the mock or not only poke fun at it, but fix it to what the Lions actually need? I draft best player available of need. Right now, they only announced the week 1. They're going to announce more games as it comes up. Right now, all I've seen is the week 1. I've heard that the Lions are playing in the Germany game in Berlin. That's what I'm hearing. Damn.
And yeah, I make fun of mock drafts all the time, and I pick holes in them and whatnot. Because some of them make absolutely zero goddamn sense. Or the trade ups that they make no sense because of how much I had to give up to do it.
Or how much they offer you to trade up to your position. You take the trade because if you were a GM, you'd be stupid not to. But you go right back into it. You never get offered that trade again, and you just make your pick after that. There's some trades where you get offered it because there's a certain player, a certain QB, a certain wide receiver, or a certain defensive end that's at the top of the list that falls somebody. Send the
That's why
Packers
when we do
to play in Russia.
that's why when we do the mock drafts, I'm like, I wonder who they're coming up for.
Right. And that's
I
why
gotta go
we
back
always
and
go
look.
back and look. We always go back and look.
I was playing with mock drafts before we started this.
Mm-hmm. We always did.
I do mock drafts all the time because they're fun.
Because of it being 51% goes to the players and 49% to the owners is what that was negotiated in the last CBA. Yes, but ticket prices are shared across the board. Is what everybody's realizing. The ticket prices just don't go to your team.
Profit
It's a shared
sharing.
revenue. And then all of the NFL, PA, the GM, vice president, president, CEOs, CFOs, all those people's salaries come off of that before the net profit is calculated.
Mural Jackson, no shit, they don't mean anything, man, because we're not the GM. But it's still fun and something to talk about and just get somebody's opinion on how they think things would play out.
The Lions have the 29th draft pick at this time, which means we will be at the end of the day unless we trade up, period.
And honestly, this time of year, man, there's not a whole bunch going on.
Actually, I've heard Goff is not available for trade, whether an extension's done or not. They're letting him play out his contract. So Hendon Hooker has another year to develop in the playbook. And that's actually a really good thing because Hendon Hooker didn't become available to study the playbook until November.
What is stupid?
Probably saying trade Goff this stuff.
I say trade Goff, but I just don't like Goff. I would trade him for a bag of chips, honestly. I love mock drafts so much that I go on Madden sometimes do a fantasy draft to build these elite teams.
Yeah, I don't
I
do
haven't done
that.
a fantasy draft on Madden in probably 15 years.
Yeah. You know why? Because it's very unrealistic. Actually, you're absolutely wrong because I said that Gibbs would be a Lion last year. I actually said it. Von Doom was on the show. I said Gibbs will be a Lion and Swift will get traded during the draft. I said those things like
Yeah, it's
2
fucking
days
early
before the
days.
draft.
I honestly thought they were going up for Bijan Robinson. But
I'll do the fantasy draft, then delete the franchise and start a new one just to do a fantasy draft.
dude, a lot of people do. PFF, PFN, they do put a lot of good information on those freaking scouting reports.
Yeah, and you got to look at who's writing them. There's this one that writes, it's Ian something. And yeah, Ian Cummings. And his are not the best reviews. It looks like he's a homer every time he talks about somebody, unless somebody's absolutely awful. So I like some of the other writers on PFN much better than Ian Cummings. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Paul Jones, can you please tell me where you see how Goff is the best fit for the offense? I'm just
Pat Roswell, thanks,
seriously
Smoke.
wondering that.
How's it going? It is going great, sir. Dan Leonard was on the show when I did it, Ural.
He did, and I said it was stupid because he can get him in the second round. It wasn't Chop Shop Robinson. It was Pork Chop Robinson because he was a fat bastard when he was born. His mama named his ass Pork Chop.
Yeah, his actual name is Pork Chop.
No, it's not. It's just the nickname she gave him. It's fuck. I can't remember off the top of my name.
Whatever.
It starts with a D though.
I thought Goff would go wherever Ben Johnson goes. Let Johnson take his QB and give us some draft capital on the way out. We've all said this. But at the same time, Jeff Risdon reported, God, what is it now? 6 weeks ago since we heard that? Is that right, Von Doom? Back when we first started this, right around that time, the Is Undone came on the Friday show and said that Jeff Risdon on his podcast, who is a Lions insider, who is at Allen Park, he has an office there. And he literally said, Goff is probably not getting an extension. He is willing to play it off and bet on the fact he'll get more money either from the Lions or somewhere else next year.
No, I didn't see his mock, but now I need to.
Yeah. Michael Mike did a 7-round mock draft today. Read a few comments saying, worst mark ever. Are you drunk? Did you see his mock? No, I did not.
Quincy.
Quincy McKinstry. Yeah, that is fun to say.
So short yardage
T-
and
Tina
moving and
Burner,
change. Golf is like a field coach.
just asking the same questions. Absolutely. Aaron Leiter, good morning. How are you doing today? Since you know it all, you know what? Kick rocks. Quit commenting on my show. If you don't like what I have to say, get the fuck out. I'm done. I won't put your comment up ever again. Done. Good morning, Smokin' Dad.
Yeah, some people's children.
Hey, that's it. Just it. Everybody said Goff was getting an extension, and we've heard reports all the day. I'm good. So what's the convo about Goff?
Oh,
Good job, your old
we
jack
don't think
off.
the convo about Goff is we don't think he's going to get extended. A lot of people want him extended. Some of us say, hey, let's trade his ass. Paul Jones is saying that he feels that Goff is the best fit for the offense. He's a good fit for the offense. I'm not saying he's the best fit. I think there's a lot of quarterbacks in this league that would be able to do just as much, if not better, though, with that offense around him and that offensive line to give him the time.
Hats off to our strength and conditioning coach, Dean. Can't come up with his last name, but what a terrific job last year. No significant injuries during the course of the season, which in my eyes leads to the conditioning of the athlete. Hopefully, the coming years are the same. Congratulations, Dean. I completely agree. I mean, the only people that had serious injuries are people who had records of serious injuries, other than CJGJ, but he got his because he was stupid. I like Goff too, to an extent. And I've said this. I said Goff is a perfectly fine game manager QB. Jeremy, see what I mean? What morons?
Oh, and I'm not saying Goff is a bad quarterback. I'm just saying I don't like him. Me personally, I don't like him. And it's not even about anything he's done on the field. I lost all respect for Goff when he told his coach said that he was going to bang his coach's girlfriend or whatever. I think that's just some dumb shit.
There, I took care of that.
Ha ha. Bye-bye, bitch.
There. He didn't want to leave. He wanted to keep talking shit. He can get the fuck out. I'm at that point anymore. I didn't say Aaron, I did not say Goff is a bad quarterback. Nowhere have I said that, and I'm not saying he's a bad quarterback. I'm just saying that like Von Doom. You guys like Adisa Isaac, edge out of Penn State in the second round? Absolutely. I don't think he'll fall all the way to 61. I think he's going to go somewhere in the mid 40s. I think he's a fine player. I think he'll be fine. Jeremy, you are the man. Grandizer, I didn't even see what the viewer said. Well, he was saying he was the only one that was saying the Lions were getting Gibbs. I said last year, prior to the draft, Von Doom was on the show, that I see the Lions taking Gibb and trading Swift. I'm not blaming Goff for losing the game, but I'm not giving him credit for a lot of people that say he won us that game. Because guess what? The honesty is, he didn't win us a lot of games last year. The running game won us more games than Goff did. He still would have more picks. That's the one knock I give against Stafford. Stafford throws a shit ton of picks. And he'd cost us more games than Goff did. Go look at the pick sixes that Goff did throw. They were all in the first half, which means every time the team had a chance to come back from them. Where does Stafford throw a majority of his picks anymore? In the second half when it's harder.
Okay, people ask different questions now.
Yeah, I'm kind of done with the same questions because I get asked the same questions every week. Stafford is like Temu Favre. Considering they've had a running game with the Rams and Matt Stafford has still thrown more picks every year than Goff, even in this injury shortened season. Guess what?
Dude,
He still has more
right
picks.
there. Look at what Fred said right there. It's not even that you piss us off. You bust balls about Kenny Galladay and dumbass shit like that. He was just being a straight up D-bag, fucking saying, "Oh, you think you know it all," blah blah blah. Go blow fucking David Pike and get the fuck out of here.
He reads the field better than Stafford. Absolutely, and he spreads the ball around. And Jerome Salter says so true. Maybe you're not saying Goff is a bad QB, but I'm saying it. I know you've been saying it. And so as on to him. We have a great running game and a great O-line. I can see Hendon doing a great job next year. Yes.
I think most quarterbacks in the NFL behind that offensive line with the running game and those wide receivers will be successful. That's all I'm saying. I don't see Goff as being special. I look at him as an average quarterback that, for the most part, is accurate when he's not under pressure.
If Goff was so great, the Rams would have had more success in 2019 and 2020. Why did they not have as much success? The running game was anemic. Cam Akers was hurt the 1 year, which hurt the run game. And the O-line didn't play as good. They went from third-ranked O-line in 2018 to 19th in 2019 and 29th in 2020.
And they wouldn't have traded Goff and all those firsts for Stafford if he was that good.
But at the same time, they still had to add players for Stafford to make the Super Bowl. You can't tell me anything different because they did.
No, they did. Here's the difference. Stafford has a big arm. And when it matters, he'll throw that ball deep as shit and take the risk.
Yep.
You know what?
And because he has the QB awareness of a rock. He'll take the big shot and say, fuck it, somebody's down there. Don't care what color the jersey is.
Sometimes you have to be that way, too.
Todd Gurley was a Falcon in 2019 because we played against him. So they didn't hold out that he'd be better. He was a free agent after that year.
Todd Gurley came into the league with the knees of a 70-year-old already, though.
He came into the league with my knees and had the knees of a 70-year-old when he left the Rams. Get it right.
You're just about 70 anyway, man. Get off me.
I'm 53. Stop it.
Close enough. Round up a little bit here.
Hey, I didn't say he'd be our starting QB next year. Never once.
I don't think so. Hey, JB, what is Fred Peterson talking about up there? You know?
I had to go back and read Earl's comment. I think
it's past the combo now, but I'm curious how that works for those college players.
Oh, let me go look. I had to go back and show and read his comment. I don't know what you said before, Fred. You'll probably have to put it back in because it's too far back. Gurley is in his 20s and can't even walk anymore. I agree. I can't wait to see Hooker in the preseason. I'm planning on going to the game. I never had the interest before. That right there. That's exactly why we're going to see record-selling preseason games. Do you remember we sold out almost every preseason game last year for the first time ever? And we're probably going to do it again this year. Ken Fisher, great show, guys. Got to go. Keep doing what you're doing. It's the best. I appreciate it. I try to address you guys in the chat as much as I can because that's what I'm trying to treat it like it's a call-in show. Your comments are you calling in and asking a question. And I think that's what a live podcast should be. What do you think, Von Doom?
That I'm not a monster.
No, you're not a monster. You're just an asshole sometimes.
Empty.
Oh, you're out of monster.
I'll be right back.
If NFL teams bring in local college kids, how does that work for states that don't have NFL teams such as Utah, Dakotas, and Oklahoma, etc.? We have a great team. Oh, yeah. I have to jump off. Good chat, guys. Have a best day. You too, Aaron. I love this show. I missed yesterday, but it was a very busy day. I try to watch every morning, and we appreciate it. You can always go back and watch the show. You'll see the comments that I put up during the show, the ones I address and everything, because that's what I do. That's what Von Doom does. We do this every day because you know why? Because we love our sponsors too. You know, especially our fake one. It's our favorite. FTP. No, it's not the florist. It's not free the puppies. It's not flush the poop. It's not feed the pigeons.
Flog the porpoises.
It's not flaccid tiny penises.
That's Will Vogel.
Hey, I didn't say
Sorry.
it. You.
I
What is
did.
it?
I'll say it to his face.
What is
Oh,
it,
it's
Leonard?
fuck the Packers.
Yep. Fuck the Bears and fuck the Vikings too. Put it in the chat because that's what we love to do. FTP. Paul Jones is quick to get that in before he leaves.
And make sure y'all come in on freaking 9 o'clock tonight. Watch the Wednesday night show.
What do you mean left for the 49ers? He got an extension, I thought.
There's no way Kittle left the 49ers.
Yeah, he hasn't left. Effing TP has a hole in it.
Is that hole from your finger?
Tomorrow. Have a very blessed day. Yeah, when I start to get to the last 4 and I don't have money to go down to the store real quick, I use the holy TP. I just have to wash my hands a lot. I know I'm awful. Colossal Crown, the best window tinner and auto detailer in Saginaw, as voted by his peers. 409 Hamilton Street, 989-443-9240. Give him a call, schedule your appointment, get your whip set up, make it look all clean and shiny with nice dark windows like this or this Audi SUV.
I think I always think we're talking about him, man. He's got a complex.
Tiny penises, you're talking about me again. I love smoking, Dad. Yup, Minnie. And of course, the place of business where I'll be here in a couple of hours at the corner of South Grand Traverse and West Atherton Road here in sunny Flint, Michigan, because it is going to be almost 70 degrees again today. 810-233-8230 is the number you need to call if you need a price for new tires. If you want to just get a nice set of used tires, come see us at 602 West Atherton Road. We had the best prices in Genesee County. Mention this ad, you will get $10 off a set. Oh, or me. That's why I have no kids or just dogs.
Keep it up, motherfucker. Lucky
And the
bastard.
BK and B Martin will get much better. I've said this too. I think we're going to see an improvement of Martin even in the preseason because I doubt most of our starters will barely see the field. You've seen what they do. If the starters go out, it's the first quarter for the first 1 or 2 drives of the first preseason game, and then you never see them again. They don't do the dress rehearsal. That's done. That's because there's only 3 games. Yes, we have used tires. They start at $40 a piece, depending on the size. They go up from there.
I can never find used tires. Stupid fucking size.
Which size is it? That 245, 45, 20?
Oh,
Yeah, they're a pain in the dick to find. I ain't gonna lie.
it's so goddamn expensive too.
There must be some. Oh, there was a ton of fake news going around the last 2 weeks because they're still putting out April Fool's Day news.
It's not even just that. There's nothing going on right now. So your content creators and your podcasters and your sports outlets are just putting out bullshit just to get the clicks to keep their views and everything going.
Our Marius Mims is our guy to keep our eyes on. Yes, you can use used tires on an all-wheel drive because an all-wheel drive, all it has to be is a matched set of tires. It does not matter if they are new or used. That is a myth. I hate this spell check thing. I know. It started saying amorous. I knew what you meant. I said Amarius for you. But it is that time of day where I like to say what I always say. We only got 9 likes, people, and 21 watching. Make sure you put those likes up in the reactions. You guys all say how great the show is. We appreciate every like we get.
Like and share, please. It helps the algorithm.
Yep. Try every day to be a better person than you were the day before. Oh, we already did that, Steve. You missed it. But anyways, try every day to be a better person than you were the day before. The only way to make the world a better place starts right here in the heart. Much love to everybody. Steve, thanks for jumping in. Brent,
Hey, hey,
Paul
Steve.
Jones, Lisa Cott, everybody.
Hey, Steve. Fuck the Packers. Just for you, buddy.
God bless everybody. We need a better world. That's all there is to it. People are way too easy to jump down each other's throats. Have a good one.